What up, guys, in the live stream? Hold on, I'm just gonna flip my cap around because I want it to be backwards instead. Or do I want to go like sideways, like the old 90s kids? No, I'm gonna go forward. It's kind of hot today. I'm gonna go forward. Yeah, so before, some of you guys might have remembered I did, what was it called? A weekend review, and I was like, a week's too much. So now I'm doing month in review, which is basically just me talking about my month and what I did, what my plans are for the channel, all that jazz. What's up, people in the stream? We got Neil in here, we got Extreme in here, we got Avenger, we got Millie, we got Kevin, we got a bunch of people, we got Darkstalker, William, and all that stuff. All right, cool. So let's see what I did this month. Month in review. Okay, so at the beginning of the month, I shot some anime reactions. I need to get back onto that. We have like, I think like 6 episodes I haven't released yet for the Naruto reaction series. So I gotta do that, and then we have to figure out a time to film because before my update for this month, I started doing summer camp. And so it makes me have more of like a 9-to-5 job during the week, so I only have weekends available. Before, we were able to meet pretty regularly during the week on Wednesdays because we all have like jobs that like are kind of weird. Like I have a free schedule. My brother, he works at a movie theater. I believe William is a traffic controller or something like that. So we haven't figured out a time that we could actually do our anime reactions because we want to continue doing Naruto. So that happened. We need to figure out how we're gonna do that more. I need to upload another Naruto episode. Maybe I'll edit that. Yeah, maybe I'll edit that today. I'll do that today so I can have that uploaded tomorrow. Also, NBA Finals wrapped up. Of course, if you guys watched the NBA, the Warriors beat the Cavaliers, and I believe it was like 4-1. It was pretty much like Warriors all the way, but it was enjoyable to watch. It was good to watch. Oh, Cowboy Bebop, that reaction series is on an indefinite hiatus right now. So if you were watching the Cowboy Bebop stuff, sorry, it's over now. I started uploading the Game of Thrones Telltale Games stuff. I still need to upload, I think, 2 more episodes, and then we're gonna do another live stream at some point. I just don't know when. We recorded, for people who are always asking about Council Forcecast stuff, we recorded an episode on the 5th of June. It was for our review of the Clone Wars micro series. It was the first season, I think chapters 1 through 20, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know when it's gonna be released. Again, I'm not the host of that podcast. You have to ask Ready 4 about that. I just participate and occasionally come in. But yeah, we did record a new episode of the Council Forcecast this month. That was like 3 weeks ago. I just realized. That's crazy. What else did I have? LWC. I'm also working with, for people who know me from Just Kidding Films and stuff, I am working on a new project with Casey Chan and Michael Chu. They're making like this vlog series thing, and I'm helping them do that. So I did that with them. I'm doing editing for them. Possibly I might be doing editing for the Tiff and Case vlog. Would be cool. Oh, and then today I was asked or requested to do a vlog editing for Joe's channel. If you guys are familiar with Joe from Just Kidding Films, I might be doing vlog editing for him. I also got braids this month because, as you guys know, it's kind of bad right now. Let me see if I can like get my hair to like wake up. But I am getting dreadlocks at the end of the summer. I'm growing them out right now. It's pretty good. Like I could lock it up right now if I wanted to. But the issue is that, again, I'm at summer camp and I'm going to be swimming a lot, and I want to be able to make sure my locks come out good instead of it falling out all the time, because if I go to the pool or I get my hair wet, it won't lock up. But at the end of the summer, I expect to have locks like all in my hair. Like you can kind of see my hair already wants to lock up, but I just haven't really, like, if I wanted to, I could start right now and just go freeform and just let it do its thing and let it lock up. But I kind of don't want to do freeform locks. I want more of the, like, manicured, you know, more clean looking dreadlocks. But yeah, I'm gonna be making a vlog series about me and my lock journey. But I have been getting braids so that I can grow them out a little bit faster. So that's a thing. But yeah, at the end of the summer, I'm going to do a full like dreadlock journey. Oh, another cool thing that happened to me last month. Before I went to camp, I needed to get some extra money because during April, when I was gone for like a month, I didn't do anything on my channel really, and I didn't have any extra revenue coming in, so I needed to kind of make up for some of the revenue. So I was doing Uber for a day, and while I was doing Uber, someone noticed me in the car. They, I think it was when they were about to leave. I think I was telling them about my YouTube channel, and they hadn't seen my face, so I had walked away. Or no, they were about to get out the car, and I was like, yeah, if you want to look at my YouTube channel, it's just my first and last name, Antoine Bandele. And they're like, wait, what? And then like they looked at me, and they're like, oh yeah, you had like that little cartoon with Scott Pilgrim's sword, which was cool that she knew that it was Scott Pilgrim's, because most of you guys think it's a lightsaber, and it's Scott Pilgrim's Power of the Love sword. So that was kind of cool for like meeting a fan. She took a picture with me, which was pretty cool. And then either at the end of this month, or actually I think a few days ago, a guy named Jose, spotted me at a food truck and was like, oh hey, I wasn't sure if it was you, and then I looked on your Instagram and you said you were at this food truck. So he said what's up, and that was kind of cool. I'm getting noticed more often now, even though most of my channel isn't face, it's mostly just my my voice. So it's kind of like when people see my face and they recognize me, it's kind of like, oh wow, that means you really watch my channel, because most of my videos are not my face. I was supposed to this month go to E3 and the EA Play Battlefront event, but I couldn't go. I forget why. I think I was just busy with editing and I couldn't just get out the house. But I did that. I read The Fifth Season, which was a book by N.K. Jemisin. She's an author. I'm trying to read a little bit more often now because I am writing a book. So I read that book. It was highly recommended to me. I didn't really completely enjoy it. I think it was kind of, for me, bogged down by the world building and kind of like the sci-fi jargon that was within the novel. But still, if you think it's basically kind of like Earthbenders, basically, but just Earthbenders in like the sci-fi dystopian like universe. So if you like that premise and you're into it. It's pretty cool. I mean, like the world building stuff is really cool. I just wasn't really engaged with all the characters. I really like this one character named Demaya, but I'm glad I read it, and I need to start reading more often. Because really, what happened is I think the first few days of reading the 5th season, I was like, I don't really want to read this. Let me put this away. But I forced myself to read it, and I'm glad I read it all the way through because I enjoyed it a lot more than I think I thought I would have. But yeah, the 5th season by N.K. Jemisin, I recommend to you if you're into that premise. What else did I do? Oh, I had a JKP shoot. They did an outdoor shoot this last month where they did a dodgeball, basketball outdoors, and something else I can't think of. Oh, tug of war. They did tug of war. And I'm actually editing the tug of war video for that outdoor stuff. Actually, I'm finishing that up today, actually. And then we had camp orientation this month, which was pretty good. We learned about how to like take care of kids, how to make it fun. Different game ideas, how to be safe around the kids, all that kind of stuff. And camp is going really well. I mean, they're kind of crazy. We went to Universal Studios our first week for the field trip, and that was like kind of a lot because the kids were just crazy, man. And then like I had to like take care of all their money and like just like spend all their money, and like they had all these little individual baggies where I had to like make sure their receipts were all there and everything, and it was just like. It was a lot. It was too much. I mean, throughout the week it was fun because I had like two other counselors who were helping me, like, you know, take care of kids. But then being at Universal Studios by yourself as the only adult taking care of like 7, 8 kids, it was kind of hectic. But it was a lot of fun. It was still rewarding and it was fun. And then like, you know, I had a kid like fall asleep on me and when we were coming back, which was pretty cool. Oh, and I also hung out with my goddaughter this month. She was. We went to the water park. We went to Hurricane Harbor, which was a lot of fun. We went to go eat pizza afterwards, and then we came back home and we watched Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban because I gave her the illustrated version of Azkaban, Sorcerer's Stone or Philosopher's Stone if you're from the UK, and she read it. She read the whole thing. So me and my girlfriend were like, oh man, like, you know, we should have her watch the movie because she finished the first book. And then when we talked to her, she's like, oh, I already watched the first movie and the second movie. We're like, no, you're not supposed to we were supposed to be the ones that introduced you to Harry Potter, but we got her to watch the third movie, and that was fun. I actually filmed that day, so I think I'll eventually have that vlog out, but it's probably gonna be really, really late. I still haven't finished my Texas vlog, which I also need to edit, which is gonna bring me up to something else I'm gonna talk about in the rest of this update video. Is that I'm not finishing a lot of stuff, so I'm going to like take away a lot of things on this channel in a way, at least for the summer. So that was a lot of fun, going to Hurricane Harbor with my goddaughter and having her watch Harry Potter, eating pizza, all that stuff. And of course, I released Dooku versus Kun finally, and that was the last versus series that you're going to see on this channel for quite some time. And that's like the big reveal, I guess, of this video, is that for the summer, there will be no new versus videos. The next versus video won't be out until autumn, or the very beginning of autumn, and then I'm gonna have a video come out each week within the autumn season. And the reason for that is that I need to focus on my book. I am writing a book. It's called The Mana and the Kishi, and I just haven't. There's so many things going on in my life, like editing for Just Kidding Films, editing for people's vlogs, doing all the edits that I'm doing on my channel. Something has to go, and the Versus series takes such a long time to research and to edit, especially the way I edit it now, because I think before, like when I first started the Versus series, it was a lot easier to edit because I didn't really reference what I was talking about. Now I do, like I make sure I put like little, like lower thirds about like which book it came from, which chapter it came from, which means I have to like make sure I look, at that thing and make sure that that's referenced properly, but that takes a lot more time. So because of that, we're taking a backseat to Versus, but we're gonna up our game on Geek Talks. So my first Geek Talk is going to be a new series that I want to do, which I've kind of already been doing. It's a lightsaber fight analysis video series. I did it already with Mace versus Sidious. I talked about, all the lore surrounding that, what happened in that fight, what I think happened in that fight, my opinion about that fight. I also did it with Ben Kenobi versus Maul in Rebels. So now I'm trying to make it so that it's a continual series. So my first one, I'm basically going to go through each and every fight as they happen chronologically through when they were released. So my first series for this is going to be Geek Talk, lightsaber analysis, Ben Kenobi versus Darth Vader from A New Hope. So I'm almost done writing that. I think I can actually finish writing that today. I expect to have it out by Thursday. So I'm going to have a bunch of those series come out, and then I'm going to have Darth Vader versus Luke Skywalker, then I'll have Luke Skywalker versus Darth Vader, Return of the Jedi, and then I'm going to do all the other fights. I'm going to do the fights from the Old Republic, like Zalo versus Darth Malgus, and all that. I'm going to do every fight that I find interest in, and I'm going to do basically what I did with Mace versus Sidious as a new series, as a Geek Talk series. Also, what I'm doing is bringing back power rankings, the Game of Thrones power rankings. Need to get back into that, especially with Game of Thrones coming out this month. I'm also going to do the Witch House Hogwarts series again. I need to get back into that. My first one's going to be with Tenzin from Avatar: The Legend of Korra. So we're going to do which Hogwarts house was he in. I'm also going to do a Geek Talk for why I think the Harry Potter duels suck and how I think they could be better. And I'm basically going to be doing that throughout the summer. I'm going to be doing more Geek Talks, more Naruto reaction stuff, the power ranking stuff, the which Hogwarts house, which lightsaber form, those kind of videos. Because those are a lot easier for me to produce. And I can do those while I can write my book and finish that by the end of the summer. Or at least not maybe... At least at the end of the summer, have it ready so that I can share it with people, like beta readers. By the way, I'm going to probably have a shout out on this channel if you want to become a beta reader for my novel. So if you want to read, an early draft of it and give suggestions of what you think would be better. Oh yeah, I'm also someone who's just said in the comics, yes, I'm also going to continue doing the strong style, medium style videos too at some point, whenever that comes up. Matter of fact, let me schedule that right here to do the medium style on this day. Let's do medium style. Hold on, I'm just adding this to my calendar so I can remind myself that I should do the medium style stuff. All right, so we just added that. That's good. But yeah, so when I finish my book, right now I'm almost done with the first draft. I had got into a little bit of a pickle, not so much a writing block, but more of just like I wasn't sure how to deal with this dungeon chapter that I had going on. My brother, he's really into Dungeons and Dragons, so I consulted him about how I should construct this dungeon chapter, how it would go out, and he helped me a whole lot. So he got me over that hump, and now I'm able to, I think, write the book all the way until the end. And then hopefully, what I'll do then is I'm going to read it over, I'm going to look at things that can be changed, finish that, and then I'm going to read it to my brother, the entire story, and then he's going to give me suggestions about what I could write for my official alpha draft, as I'm calling it. And then after I'm done with my alpha draft, I'm going to have some alpha readers, which is basically people that I know close to me, that I trust. I'm going to have them read the book, and then I'm going to edit it, and then I'm going to send it to my editor for his first pass. Then my editor will send it back to me after he does his first pass. Then I'm going to write that, and I'm going to create a beta draft. And then at that point, that's when I'm going to share it out to people like you guys, if you guys want. If you guys want to read my story, I don't know if I'm going to do a raffle or if I'll do it through like a Patreon thing. Like if you're a Patreon supporter, I'll say, hey, if you're a Patreon supporter, you can be put in the raffle for a beta reader or something like that. I don't know, because I really need to like work on my skills in marketing in terms of my beta readers, or not my beta readers, by Patreon, so I can get more rewards and things like that. I'm not that good with my Patreon account. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for what I did this month and the updates to what this channel is going to be for like the next few months. Now I will open it up to Q&A in the chat. So now I'll actively read the chat. So your book is a fantasy novel. Yes, my book is a fantasy novel. It is based on folklore in Africa. Specifically, it is about the folklore surrounding the Kishi, which are these demons that are kind of like what I like to liken to vampires, in the sense that they try to charm women to impregnate them and to give them their demon children, basically. Basically, in the front of their face, there's a very attractive male, but on the back of their heads are like these hyenas that want to eat the women that they charm and they capture and things like that. Are you guys still doing the Force cast? Yeah, I already mentioned earlier in the stream that we recorded something earlier this month. And are the Cowboy Bebop reviews over? Yeah, those are on hiatus. Just not enough viewership for that video series. Less than 1,000 views for some of the videos, so that one's just gonna be on hiatus. I'll probably watch it on my own, but I'm probably not gonna have it as like a reaction series. Naruto, I'm still continuing though. I need to edit that like now. Someone, Star Wars versus Man, says Juyo versus Soresu. If we think about the Jedi Path, it specifically says that Juyo is possibly the only form that could eviscerate Form 3, so I would say Juyo over Naruto. Try Naruto versus Avatar. That is the plan. After I finish Naruto, I'm probably going to have Aang versus Naruto be the first matchup. Someone says that novel idea sounds very interesting and original. Yeah, I think it's a really cool concept. It's just hard conceptualizing characters, making the audience and making me feel for the characters. Like, I just got done writing a chapter which involves a very intimate scene about these two characters, like, finally kind of falling in love with each other and, like, writing, like, a love scene and stuff like that. And it was, I don't know if I fully have earned that scene yet, so I have to, in my second draft, really dive in deep and figure out how to make their love story more believable to me, because right now I'm not fully believing it. Even though I think that the way I'm writing the love scene and how intimate they are, I think I'm doing well with that. I still think I could do better with establishing their love and setting it up so that when they do finally fall in love and have this very intimate scene, that's like, oh yes, they finally got together. So I need to make that better. Are you going to use more Star Wars characters in the late future? What do you mean? I don't know what you mean by that. You gotta be a little more specific. I missed some of the stream. When does the next Star Wars versus? It's not gonna be until autumn. There's no versus series this summer because I'm focusing on writing my book and doing more geek talks and editing for JK because I'm at summer camp right now. Steel Sean versus XR Kun. That's probably a matchup I would not do. Not really something I'm interested in. I do want to use Sean at some point. I am going to use Arkin at some point. I'm going to use him. Yeah, that's actually one of the autumn matchups. Is going to be Arkin versus the dark side version of Starkiller. Who would win, Yoda or Darth Bane? You should search that on YouTube. It already exists. Could you watch my content on my channel later? I'm a young YouTuber doing your... I missed what the rest of that said. I'm sorry. Ula Keldroma versus Anakin Skywalker. That's something I'm probably not interested in doing. Do you care about the Han Solo movie? No, I don't. I know there's all that drama that came out about Kathleen Kennedy firing the directors. Again, I don't really care about the Han Solo movie, so I couldn't care less about what all that stuff is about, or what's gonna happen with that. Someone asked me who my favorite fantasy author is. Gonna be kind of boring and just say J.K. Rowling, because that's just really, she's my favorite writer and she has my favorite fantasy book ever. I like George R.R. Martin too, but like J.K. Rowling takes it for me. She's so good. An Obi-Wan movie will be cool, but more than that, I think they need to start doing movies that are like not about the main saga. Like, let's really take a leap of faith and like make something that's really different, I think. Do you think they should make animated movies like they do with the DCU? Yeah, I think so. Can you start a Naruto versus series? That's the plan, but I haven't watched enough Naruto to be able to do that yet. How about Qui-Gon Jinn versus Sindralig? Not a matchup that interests me. That's also not a matchup that interests me. I tried writing a short novel and I just dropped it, so I can't wait to see your book complete. I'm excited to see it complete too. I'm trying to have it done sort of by the end of the summer, definitely by October. Actually, I have a schedule about when I want my stuff to be done. Let me see what my schedule says. Because I want to have 2 books done by the end of the year. I'm trying to have this novel done, which is my debut novel, and then I want to do a novella, which is a pirate novella story. But they take place within the same world. Let me see. But then I want both of them done by the end of this year. I'm going to release the first book in February. And then I'm probably going to have the next book out January, February, March, April. Probably April or May is when the second book will come out. Oh yeah, right now I have it that my second draft should be done by January, March, April, May, June, July, August. August 4th. And I want my final draft to be done November 6th, so that I can do promotional stuff between that point. Yeah, so that's my schedule on that. Yeah, I'm excited for it to be done. I really want the novel to be done and over with. Not over with, but like I want to start releasing stuff, you know. The next matchups in autumn. Let's see. The first one I have is either going to be Amon versus Zahir, or Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker versus Darth Bane and Darth Zana, or Grand Admiral Thrawn versus Khan, I think. It's between those 3. Those are the 3 I'm working on right now. I'm trying to get them done little by little so that when I start doing it, I won't be so far behind. Yeah, those are the first 3. Thrawn versus Khan, Amon versus Zahir, Kenobi, Anakin versus Bane versus Zana, and then Starkiller versus Arkin, the dark side. Starkiller versus Arkin, Jorah Mormont versus Braun. I'm doing a double one for that. So I'm doing Kenobi, Anakin versus Revan and Malak as well. I'm also gonna do Jet versus Suki. I'm gonna do Boba Fett versus Grievous Legends. I'm going to do Dario versus Braun for Game of Thrones. I'm going to be doing Obi-Wan versus Vader or Anakin, depending on how you guys vote, versus Ahsoka. Then I'm going to be doing Afro Samurai versus Samurai Jack. Then Grandmaster Luke versus Grandmaster Yoda versus Grandmaster Luke. And then Aang versus Zahir in my first Avatar versus rounds. It's going to be airbending only. And I think that's it. yeah, and that's it for autumn, for the things that I'm planning on doing. Your profile pic is BB-8? No, it's Power Love. Do you know the YouTuber Jaxplay? I do not. Samurai Jack, and then there's a bunch of people. I don't know if that's a yoga person. Oh, you weren't talking about me. You're talking about someone else's BB-8 profile picture. No, it's Luke Skywalker. The Grandmaster version is the one I'm using against Yoda. I'm 27 years old. Oh, I don't have Nightbot active in this stream. I probably should. I should have Nightbot active. Nightbot is very helpful. The son versus the daughter. I don't like the Mortis arc at all. Not my favorite Star Wars. I don't like when they do that kind of stuff, or the Abeloth stuff that was in the post Return of the Jedi EU. Not a fan of that stuff. What Avatar element do you think is the most powerful? Like, if 4 masters went, who do you think will win? I think water bending is the most powerful. Who is your favorite Naruto character right now? I would probably say Sasuke. Oh yeah, Samurai Jack in the Versus series. Yeah, he's coming. I kind of, if I can, I want to make that a motion comic verdict, but I don't know if I'll have the budget to do that. I probably won't have the budget to do that, so it's probably gonna be normal. But it would be cool if I could get a motion comic done for that. Is the waterbender bloodbending or not? Yes. That I was visualizing that waterbender being able to bloodbend. You probably should. I put like 6 episodes out for the Naruto reaction series. I have to do more. I have to release one tomorrow, I think. I should at least. And Afro Samurai. Yep, Afro Samurai's gonna take on Samurai Jack. Would you bloodbend if you were forced to? Yeah, I'm not adverse to using a very effective tool against somebody who's trying to attack me. Yoda versus Anakin. Anakin would lose pretty handily. Isn't it crazy that Ahsoka's comment? Ahsoka's comment and an eclipse happened in the same year? I guess that's pretty crazy. Yeah. I mean. No, I'm not going to be watching Shippuden. I'm only going to be watching the original Naruto, which is about like 200 episodes. Who would you think would win? You didn't say who. I don't know. I like airbending because you can fly like Superman. Yeah, if you're Zahir, if you let go of all your earthly tethers, then you can do that. Eventually, I'm gonna watch Shippuden, but I'm not. I'm gonna watch the original Naruto series first. Do a versus series about all those characters, and then I'll eventually watch the rest of it. But the goal right now is to watch just the original Naruto, and all the characters as they are in the original series. Sorry, man, I'm not into DC and Marvel like that. Will you be watching Game of Thrones season 7? Yup. Most def. We're actually going to be doing a party in here for the premiere episode, which would be dope. Will we be getting Jack or Afro in some of your other series? Like which Hogwarts house and in which lightsaber form? Yes, we will. I'm going to do Samurai Jack and Afro Samurai in the Witch lightsaber form series before I have them come out in the Versus series. Anyone else a Naruto fanboy here? I like Naruto. I'm not going to say I am a fanboy, but I like it so far, the few episodes I've seen so far. Darth Zana versus Darth Traya. That actually sounds like a good matchup. What is your opinion on Jarek the Inquisitor? I don't have much of an opinion on him. Never liked the stories that he came out of. Can't wait for those. How long are you going to stream for? Until you guys run out of questions to ask me. If I hear like a lot of repeats, then I'm gonna probably end the stream. Are you gonna watch Star Wars Forces of Destiny? Yes or no? Probably not. I mean, never say never, but probably not. I'm too busy right now doing other stuff. Could Aang bloodbend? No, he could not. He never learned it. Yoda versus Return of the Jedi Vader. I believe Yoda wins that. Thoughts on Grand Admiral Thrawn? You gotta be a little bit more specific about what thoughts. Am I reading the new Vader comic? Yeah, but I'm kind of about it. Who do you think will eventually sit on the Iron Throne? I feel like it's between Jon or Daenerys. I'm just not sure which, but it's between those two. I mentioned a second book that I'm writing. Oh, yeah. So right now, what I'm trying to do is I'm writing a series of books called Tales from Essowan. Essowan, in like an old Egyptian language, I think means water over rocks, which is the name of the world that I'm building out. And so I'm making a series of 5 books. The first book is the Kishi Demon fantasy story, which is taking place in like kind of like a pseudo West Africa, but not really, because this is a different world entirely. Like there's 2 moons in this world. There's all this magic that's around, so it's not really Earth. It's a fake Earth. So that's my first book, and then I'm going to do a novella, which is about pirates. It's going to be about these pirates that live on these islands, and they're dealing with this new technology, this new airship, basically kind of like a steampunk airship thing. So it's this new technology that's taking over regular pirate ships, and they're discovering that this new nation is making it, and they're trying to fight against that. And then my third book is about a prince. It's about what it means to be a ruler, especially a young ruler, like when an older father dies and then like their 12-year-old son takes the throne, and what it means to be a ruler when you have all these advisors telling you what to do and everything like that. So that's my third book, which will be a full novel. My first and third book are going to be novels. The second and fourth book are going to be novellas. So the pirate one's going to be a novella. It's going to be a short book. Then my fourth book is going to be a novella as well. It's also going to be a short book about it's about this guy who's based on Mansa Musa, who's this famous African leader in West Africa, who was like the richest man ever, and about what does a guy with all these riches do, and how he's trying to create this new education system, this university, and he's recruiting all these people to be part of his university so he can build out his university. So that's the fourth book, which is the second novella that I'm going to write. And then the last book in that series, which is all is a lead up to my big saga fantasy, which is called the Kandake Chronicles, which is about this warrior princess that's trying to come up and do her thing. The fifth book is about war, and it's about this gorilla king, because in my story there's shapeshifters, and one of the shapeshifters is a gorilla king, and I think that's going to be a pretty fun story to talk about, and just about war in general, and how a magical war would play out. So once I've done all those books, then that's going to be a lead-in to my big fantasy epic, which would be my main series. But I'm trying to do these smaller books so that I can build out the world, so that it can lead into the bigger fantasy that I intend to do. But in between there, I don't want to just continue writing fantasy. I want to make a coming of age story, which is about a guy going to summer camp, like a young person going to summer camp and doing a coming of age story. But I want to do that in collaboration with other authors, who also can write summer camp books that take place in the same summer, but they're interconnected with my character and with their own characters. The reason I want to do that is for a few reasons. One, I think it's a dope project. I think it's a dope concept. But I also want to do it as a way, from a marketing standpoint, is that I want to have a series, so that if you have a whole series out, it's usually better for that than having individual standalones. Usually for self-publishing authors, it's better to have a series than it is to have just individual books. So if I have a collaboration with other authors who can write maybe 4 other books, that take place in the same summer camp scenario, our series collectively can help all of our individual standalone books. So I think that'll be cool. And then once I do that, then I'm going to continue with the epic fantasy. And that should have me set for like the next like 3 years for a little self-publishing writing career as I do YouTube and I do editing and stuff like that. So that answers your question for that, whoever asked that question. Sorry. I know that there's a new series called Boruto, which is supposed to be like Naruto's son or whatever. I'm probably not going to watch that for like a very, very long time. Does Zuko turn out to be a better firebender than Ozai? I don't think that's... We can't really know that for sure because we don't really know for sure how skilled Ozai was, because the only fight we've seen him in was the Sozin Comet fight, and that was a very circumstantial fight. So we can't really say how good he is without Sozin's Comet. No, I'm gonna speed up watching Naruto. It's just that I'm on a hiatus a little bit right now because I'm in summer camp. But once we get back into it, we're gonna start watching a lot more episodes. Whoa, hey, for real, hey, Escape from Post. If you're really down for writing a book, like, let's do it, man. Like, after I finish this 5-book series, I'm gonna be doing a summer camp. I already got my friend Ben Barzilai to commit to a book. I have another friend, Ben Oken. The 2 Bens. I got my 2 Ben friends to commit to a book. But I also want a female perspective, so I'm trying to get female authors to do it. I got one, but she doesn't seem so jazzed about it. And another one who's not so jazzed about it. So I'm trying to get some female authors in there too. But it should be dope. Oh, okay. Then I'm going to talk to you about it. Right now I'm writing it. Basically, the summer camp book that I have planned for, which is basically my story, which is kind of going to be like the basis, kind of like the rock for everybody else's story, is basically going to be a story about me. Not really me, but the reason I wanted to do a summer camp story initially is because one of my favorite albums is Childish Gambino's Camp, particularly the book or the songs that dealt with camp specifically, and particularly the last song where he talks about the last day of camp and like going back home and stuff like that. But I don't feel like he fully, even though the name of the album is Camp, he never actually really talks, I think, enough about what summer camp is about. Like, what does it feel like being in camp? He touches on it, but for his whole album to be about that idea, he doesn't really like delve in, and I kind of want to do that. Especially being a fan of Bug Juice. I don't know if you guys ever remember that Disney Channel reality TV series about kids going to camp. Love that series. It's very fun for me. And I'm really into Degrassi, so I'm kind of making a mix between Degrassi and Bug Juice. And in particular, the story that I want to write about is basically going to be me, kind of, in a way. And how I always felt out of touch with kind of any kind of group that I've been in. Whether it's being like, a black kid who is not really black enough, or even being a nerd who's not really like nerdy enough, or being a filmmaker who's not filmmaking enough. Like, I've always not been like super a part of a group. So I wanted to make this character who's going through summer camp, trying to find his group or trying to find his purpose within, summer camp. And I think summer camp is a really good place to do it because summer camp is a perfect opportunity for a character to find growth and to have this coming of age thing. And I thought it would be dope if I had other characters who are also going through their own journeys kind of interconnected with my character, so that when we see their stories, we see how they're having their own individual arcs and individual stories interconnected with this other character. So I think that'd be dope. And I want to do that. And I'm really excited to do that after I do my fantasy stuff, which should be done by the end of next year, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Do you think Ira... Okay, there's a lot of stuff going on. A story idea I always wanted... Okay, now there's a lot of people talking. Still waiting for that Jedi Exile versus, though. Yeah, that's on hiatus indefinitely. I don't know when I'm going to be able to do that. I'm trying to do less versus, I think. I think I'm going to do versus now every other season. Like, I'll do an autumn season versus, then I'll take a break during winter, and then I'll do a spring versus, and then I'll take a break during summer. I think I'm going to do that. But that when the verse series does comes out, it's going to be one after the other, week after week after week, for like 8 weeks straight, and then I will have a hiatus for like another 3 months. Oh yeah, Matt Stover is fantastic with character. Fantastic. He's my probably all-time favorite author in terms of characters. So good, so good. Hey, what's up, Antoine? How's the book going? I am halfway through my first draft. Not even my first draft. I'm going to call it a pre-draft because it's really shitty right now. I'm just basically just shitting onto the page right now and hoping something sticks. And then when I read it over again, that's when I'm going to really dig in and try to make it better. And I'm going to try and read it out loud because I think reading it out loud will be a very good thing to do. I'm going to read it out loud to my brother, and he's going to help me build out what I'm calling the alpha draft. And I'm going to have people read my alpha draft. How can I get your book? Believe me, when my book is done, I'm going to overshare it like crazy, and there's no way you guys are not going to know about it. You guys are probably going to be sick of me talking about my book when it's done. So trust me, when my book is about to come out, you guys will know about it, and you guys are going to be sick about it. And you're going to be like, stop talking about your book, Antoine. We know you're having a book coming out. We don't give a fuck. That's how it's going to be like. So don't worry about it. You're definitely going to be kept up to date about that. Again, I'm going to try to go in on my Patreon account so that I don't really use it as well as I should, I think. But I'm going to go in and try and do that as best I can. So you guys can... there'll be certain rewards if you actually, support the Patreon account. Particularly for my book, especially if you want to be a beta reader. If you want to be a beta reader, I'm definitely going to set up some sort of reward so that if you want to read a draft before it comes out and you want to help make it a better book, that'd be a good way of doing that. Do you play Battlefront 2? Battlefront 2 is not out yet. If you're talking about EA's Battlefront 2, unless you're talking about the pre-alpha, which I don't have. I don't have the pre-alpha. But Battlefront 2, the original, yeah, I've played it before. I don't think it ages well as most people who have like nostalgia for it think it does. If you play it, it doesn't actually it's not a very fun game to play. Next minute, you become world famous writer. I don't think I'm going to become a world famous writer, but I do think I should get stories out. And I think, believe it or not, I think actually YouTube was bad for me in a sense in terms of my creativity, my success on YouTube over the past 3 years, because what I've just been doing for the past 3 years is just talking about other people's work and talking about their worlds. When I was a young kid, I always made my own worlds and my own fantasies and my own books. Like that was actually my first love, was writing. I used to write books all the time and used to write or draw little illustrations for it, and my mom would help me staple them together, and I even got them bounded sometimes, and that was my first love. And I got away from that slowly. At first it was film, because oh, it's so much easier. I can just film people and I don't have to write them out. It's easier. And then it was the YouTube thing, and then I'm getting further and further away from becoming a creator and becoming someone who's just reiterating stuff and other people's stuff at that. So I feel like YouTube is actually a detriment to me, and that's why this summer I'm trying to take a backseat in terms of the verses, which takes up so much time, to actually create shit again, because I need to start creating shit again, and that's my first love is creating shit, and I need to get more shit out there, out in the world. Any tips on tips for a young writer trying to develop a fantasy world? I don't know how to make protagonists without making them too OP. I would suggest, actually, I've been following Reddit, and I think it's called either Writing or Writers. You'll know because it's the one that has more subscribers, either Writing or Writers Reddit, and they have a lot of good things there. I also would suggest listening to the podcast, Self-Publishing Podcast. It's a freaking amazing podcast if you are intending to go self-publishing like I am. And it's really great because right now, Amazon is what YouTube was for filmmakers back in 2009, 2008, where you could put your films out on YouTube and just on the merits of your talent can get people to watch it, or Vimeo. You can now do that on Amazon. You can just literally publish your work without anyone telling you yes or no on Amazon, and basically the success of it, well, not just of it being a good book, but also you have to market it yourself, but you have complete control of what you can do on Amazon. You can have your ebooks on there, it goes straight to people's Kindles or their iPads or whatever else it is that you are having them read their digital books on. Or the greatest thing about Amazon is that they have something called print on demand, which means that if someone wants a print copy of your book, they'll print it for you, but only while someone orders it. So if someone orders your book, they'll print it, like actually print out your book and then send it to them, so that you don't have to go through the whole issue of publishing or printing like 100 books and having only like 20 of them sell, and then you have like a bunch of books just stuck in your house that can't be sold. You have individual people printing on demand, which is great. So yeah, I would say self-publishing podcast, listen to that podcast. It's freaking amazing. Reddit, I think it's called Writers. Reddit subreddit Writers is great if you have if you want advice or you want to hear about writers and what they're doing. That's a great place to look at. So yeah, that answers your question, I think. Isn't it funny how literally everyone thinks that the element they would want is the most powerful one? Sometimes. I mean, I like water because I think it's just the best, and I think it fits me the best. I think air would be the next one that would fit me the best, but I don't think air is the most powerful element. I think after... actually, the one I think I least would identify with is earthbending, and I think that's probably the second best, or contention for the first most powerful bending element. But I think it's the least... the element that least aligns with me. What was your opinion on Shakti versus Darth Bane? To be honest, I don't watch Evan. I don't really watch any versus channels actually all that much. Like I said, I'm trying to get away from that. The channels I'm now subscribed to are things that help filter my creativity, rather than things that are just talking about other people's projects. Whether that's like Star Wars or Harry Potter or Avatar. Like I've been subscribed to a lot more writers recently, and a lot more just people who are creating stuff. I feel like your YouTube subscription box can really adjust the way you are creatively as a person. The Fire Nation did almost take over the world without outside help. That's true. I mean, I think that was more because the Fire Nation was so ambitious, while everybody else was kind of like, eh. Where is the Force Cast? Again, you need to ask Ready 4 about that. I am not the host of that podcast. I need to make a video all about that. Stop asking me about Force Cast stuff. I am not the host. Alright, so the questions are starting to trickle away, so I think I'm gonna end the stream soon. What's up, that guy? How you doing, bro? I need to get going, but it was nice seeing you, Antoine. Peace out, Neil. Yeah, I'm about to get out now. I'm about to leave now in a second too. Best way to structure your story. There's a lady, her name is Monica Lionel. She has a really cool thing called framing, what's it called? The story framework. Just look up Monica Lionel, writers, wait, what is it? Prose on Fire is her website. She has a really good structure that I use for creating a structure, a thematic structure for stories. I would suggest her. Alright, y'all. Well, I'm going to peace out now. I'll do shout outs right now before I peace out to all of you guys. TE Play Z, thanks for coming out to the stream. Peace out. Green Phantom, peace out to you. Hey, Green Phantom, that's a new screen name. Is that Optical Spark or something like that? Mag Attack, please, bye. He said please. Peace out, Vid. Peace out, Jasneeks. Oh, you just joined? Well, you can watch the playback. Clash with Kayla, peace out. Star Wars guy, peace out. Stefan, peace. Adam, Neil, Eliasin, Duda or Dudo, Dire Revan, peace out. The Lash, bye man. That guy, peace. Snoopy Rogue 3, peace out. The Unknown, bye. Lord Keeper, peace out. Vess, I don't know how to say your name. Peace out, Brandon. Toodles. Jim, see ya. Sir Arthur Dane up in the house. Peace out, man. I collect it. See ya, man. Alright, guys. Peace out. Bye.